Next one we looked at was Bloodfather. This is a bit... So we went from Bad Moms to Bloodfather. It's a bit by numbers, but it looks like a good by numbers kind of movie. Yeah.
I'll spend up to $5 to watch this film.
Yeah.
I'm just really worried, though. I don't know if the daughter is going to make it.
Good evening and welcome to Is It a Bicycle? Season 10, Episode 18, the original and bestest ever TV and movie podcast. My name is Stephen Wrigley and I'll be your host for this evening. Beside me, I have a man who says as he gets older, his joints are getting weaker. We told him just to roll them tighter. It's Mike McDonough. Also beside me, I have a lady who told Mark, don't pay attention to them if they say you've got ADHD. It's Shona. Jojo O'Flaherty. Live from Vegas, we have a man who thought it was funny to order in Starbucks for Bueller and then leave before it was ready. Sean Leonard.
That's a good one.
And in the red corner, it's our cuddly killer. A man who reckons because it would be hilarious is a valid reason to have Trump elected. It's Mark, superhero Leonard. This week we'll be discussing some movies in the shape of Keanu and Captain America, and some TV in the form of The Girlfriend Experience. Well, of course, we'll have the usuals with the news and some previews, and come to a bicycle near you. So how are we doing, folks?
Fantastic, Steve.
I'm good.
Mark makes his excuses and apologies and so on because he's late.
Mark.
Yeah.
Is that just another way
Oh,
of
there he
saying
is.
I'm a tosser?
I don't know. Ask him.
I think he's afraid of being late in case Sean starts to do impressions again.
Yeah.
Sean, can you tell another dog story for Mark tonight?
Oh no, here's Mark now.
I know, but still, I'd rather hear it from Sean.
Yeah. I prefer Sean's impressions of Mark
Sean's
than I
version.
actually like Mark.
Oh shit, he can hear you.
Oh
You
no.
had your fun. You had your fun last week.
Did you enjoy that episode, Mark? We enjoyed the hell out of it.
I don't know how enjoyable it is when Steve has to jump in and stop Sean going on too much about me. Like, Steve jumped in and stopped. This is the man that let me and Sean argue about Batman versus Superman for 4 hours in a 1 hour podcast.
So how are you, Mark?
I'm good.
No,
So
about you.
I was having a meeting with my intern the other day.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is one of these fucking classic things. You know when you say something
Is this
And
our
you-
Is It a Bicycle intern?
and I wish.
Not yet.
And if you were an intern looking for some work in social media marketing or any marketing or even podcasting,
Or if you're an experienced vet or looking to get into veterinary school, our podcast also offers many diverse and interesting discussions.
so this was at work, right?
Or a
It was
blacksmith.
at work. I was having a meeting with my intern, and I'd had to come down a little bit hard on him, harder than I usually would, say, on an intern a while back. And I was walking my way around the conversation to try and bring it up so that we could still be friends, basically. And I was trying to bring it up, and I was kind of saying, what I was going for was, oh, you must have thought I was a right so-and-so, the last time. I'm glad that things are going so much better now.
Yeah.
Aren't you glad? That's what I was shooting for.
Right.
That sounds somewhat threatening, Mark. Aren't you glad this is so much better?
He's the master
Aren't you
of
glad,
passive aggressiveness.
motherfucker?
Yeah.
But whatever happened, I had a momentary blank and I couldn't put words together. So I was trying to put together that I had been quite difficult with him and that I was possibly even not a very nice person when I said it. And then when I put those words together, or those two thoughts together, the phrase that came out was, you must have thought I was a hard dick. And then I immediately went, oh my God, I've just said that. And then I just blathered on then at blistering speed onto something else. And I know I noticed it because he kind of just froze,
Yeah.
much like I did. Oh God, it was so bad. It was
Hello,
so
HR.
embarrassing. So embarrassing. But anyway.
Very good. So, what do we see this week? I know nothing about what we've seen. Have we seen
I
stuff?
started rewatching Breaking Bad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
You've seen it already?
I've seen it, yeah.
All of it.
I've seen all of it.
Oh.
I just decided it's time to go back and start at the pilot and
So you've
Keep going.
nothing better to do with your life except rewatch a 9-season. Well, how many seasons are there?
Is it like six?
Five?
Yeah.
Six?
Just
All
enough,
over
Mike.
again.
Just enough.
There's a lot because I'm watching and I'm like, oh, I forgot how far back I have to go. I'm like, can we get to the part where he shaved his head and he's a bit more of a badass?
Are you up to speed on Better Call Saul?
No, I'm not.
There you go.
I
That's
know,
like the
but
extension pack.
I know. I just kind of felt like going back and watching Breaking Bad. I kind of missed
Okay.
me some Heisenberg.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's worth it, I think. It's one of the shows that I consider rewatching, but then I
Yeah.
realize how much other stuff I have to watch.
But I
and don't.
really can't binge watch it. I can do like 1 or 2 episodes max. And then like the stress or the darkness, just like between that and Game of Thrones, I had dreams last night that like children were killing each other and they were like, finish him. I did not sleep well. So
Game of
it's
Thrones, was it good this week? I haven't seen it yet.
It
Excellent.
was. Very
Excellent.
good.
Yeah. They're keeping the standard up. Yeah. I like what they're doing with it.
I even like the comedic pacing. There's some great lines.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
This season so far.
Comedy in Game of Thrones, you say?
Great.
I was texted a screenshot from last night's episode by multiple people. I'm not sure if it's a comment on my character or not, but it was just a quote from Peter Dinklage's Tyrion Lannister, just saying, "I drink and I know things. That's what I do."
Yeah, yeah.
A great line from the episode.
Yeah. Actually, he was hilarious in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else is on the
That's
street?
what I've been watching. What have you guys been watching? Anything new?
Silicon
Something
Valley is
less
back.
old?
I mentioned it last week, but it's hilarious. It's brilliant. See, episode 2 is keeping that standard of
I like
hilarity
hilarious.
as well. Yeah, it's great. It's great. Yeah. It's really good.
WWE Payback aired last Sunday night. It was being touted in all of its marketing and by the commentators throughout as like the first pay-per-view of a new era, because they recently just moved in and hired about 10 new guys who are all being featured in the pay-per-view.
Are they from NXT?
Yeah, mostly from NXT, some from New Japan Wrestling. So it was meant to be this big evolution of like, these are the faces you're going to be seeing from now on. And they were applying Attitude Era storytelling, but just to these new characters. So I was describing it during the week to somebody. One guy who just got hired from Japan, his name is Shinsuke Nakamura, and he's known as the King of Strong Style. And I was like, what does strong style mean? And then I watched him wrestle, and it means you beat the fuck out of people. So basically what it seems to be doing is they're hiring people who are as athletic as anyone they can find, but also at least partially charismatic. Like, there are no big muscle-bound dudes who can't run and can't talk that are being hired nowadays, which I fucking love.
Oh.
I'm really glad that those guys are going to die out. So I start watching the pay-per-view and the crowd is lit. It's about 18,000 people in Chicago. And the first match is the smack talker Skywalker, Enzo Amore, who is one of my favorite new dudes. Oh, so he's one of these guys who's had, like, the second that he was given a microphone, they started making t-shirts as a shit that he would say. Like, he has this ability to... It's the same thing that The Rock was able to do. He would turn on his heel and suddenly people would start laughing. Like, at one point he said to his opponents who were there vying for a title, he was like, I know you guys want to win this Sunday, but I want to run down a hill into my own arms. It's not going to happen. And so they were up first, right? So they came out, it was a tag team match, Enzo Amore, Big Cass versus the Vaudevillains, who come out, they're dressed like strongmen from the 1940s, and their entrance is in black and white. It's great. And then the current tag team champions, the New Day, were sitting on beanbags eating pizza, watching. It was a very frivolous, exciting, fun atmosphere. Until, first match of the night, Enzo Amore gets whipped into the ropes. And he's a short guy, he's maybe 5'3". And he was, I don't know if he was supposed to or not, but his legs went to slide under the bottom rope. But he was thrown so fast that the second rope, his head hit it. And the tensile strength basically snapped his head into the mat, like the hard part of the mat where the metal bar is.
The apron, right on the apron.
Yeah, on the apron. He immediately lost consciousness.
No way.
Yeah, but it was really scary. So I watched it, right? And
so they keep wrestling with them.
No, this is a big deal. So he didn't move.
Are you sure
all.
he wasn't doing it? You know.
You're sure this isn't a work?
Yeah.
Are you just a mark?
Yeah.
So I know the checks that the referees do. So the ref came over to grab his hand and see if Enzo would squeeze back or say anything. And then
squeeze my hand, Enzo, please squeeze it.
Opponent is actually quite serious. So his opponent came over to continue to try and kick the shit out of him, and the referee physically pushed him away and went back to checking on Enzo. and then went off camera. Now, sometimes when they throw up the X with their arms on camera, that's because they're trying to trick the audience into thinking, oh, this guy's injured. If they go off camera and throw up an X, and 15 medical personnel immediately rush out to the ring,
Then it's a shoot.
and then the bell
Or The Undertaker.
So
Sorry,
then they
this is serious. This is serious. Sean, tell the story. It's serious.
So then they rang the bell because the match couldn't continue because he had lost consciousness for somewhere between 30 seconds to a minute and a half.
Oh,
He was
wow.
pretending like.
And then they rushed him to a hospital and he was non-responsive for quite some time until eventually they updated us that he had started talking and he was able to move his extremities.
Jesus.
So all I know about now, because I haven't watched Monday Night Raw yet, is that he suffered a concussion, and they're doing more tests, and the ones they've already got the results for have come back negative.
So I watched the next episode of
Hang on,
American Grit.
Hang on. Sorry, Mark. So how is he now?
All I know is that the other tests that they've done have come back negative. He definitely has a concussion. They don't know if it's more serious. But the thing that really struck me was that then they had to go out and have 6 more matches with a lot of wrestlers that aren't as experienced enough to have seen shit like this go down.
All right.
So I, in my head, was just like, holy shit, what the fuck are they going to do? And to refer you back to everyone was having fun, the New Day, their gimmick is that they don't take anything seriously, basically. They were sitting on bead bags, eating pizza and popcorn. And the look on their faces when they all realize we should not be here anymore.
Yeah. You call
We
this
need to go
entertainment?
backstage now. It was really intense.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So yeah, I will update depending on what happens.
Something real's actually happened in it.
So I watched the next episode of American Grit. Speaking of real,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry. What are we talking? What is it?
American Grit
Oh,
TV show. John Cena.
John Cena. Come on, man.
The wrestling was my segue.
oh God, yeah. Go on.
Such a great show. So so this week the challenge was they had to stand on ever narrowing beams.
Oh, I think Sean saw this one as well. Did you not mention last week you went ahead and watched episode 2?
Yeah, this is 3.
I
This
watched
is
episode
three.
two.
Sorry. Oh, okay.
This
Sorry.
week's
Get with the program, Steve.
Damn it.
Jesus. Yeah, I know.
So bodybuilder guy was one of them who was in the cauldron garden. What's the name of the thing?
The
Where you-
circus.
The circus. That's it. Thank you, Sean. So he was one of the rings in the circus, and he plainly is not nimble enough to stand on narrow things for very long. So it was quite funny because from the minute they told us what the challenge was, I said the bodybuilder's going to lose.
Yeah.
There's no way anybody else is going to lose this. Sure enough, he did.
Has there been an evolution of the assholery?
It's
in
funny.
episode
Can I?
1, they
Yeah,
got rid of
it's
the
funny.
biggest
Like
asshole.
it's exactly the kind of TV I like. Yeah. But it's like that Survivor reality TV show stuff that I really enjoy. They're starting to build the characters a bit better, all right, and I'm getting used to them now, and you get to know the storylines a bit better. Like, but there's a team that keeps winning now all the time, so that's kind of like their deal,
Right.
and they're just looking genuinely very hard to beat. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes because eventually they're going to have to drop the teams. They haven't said they're going to do that. But like when it gets down to like one guy on one team and 4 on another, it doesn't make sense. Like, so they'll eventually just go, okay, we're having a new super evolution where everybody is for themselves, and the first 6 over the line or get to choose what team they're on next or something.
Now,
They'll
you all
do
get
something like
run
that to
from
change
the
it up.
extremities and try and grab as many weapons as you can.
Something like that. Like, but anyway, it's going well. I'll keep you posted on possibly the reality sensation of the year.
Do you know, last week when I was doing burpees and I was finding myself complaining, I actually found myself thinking, at least I'm not having to submerge myself in head-to-toe buckets of ice water.
Can I just say as well,
Thank you, American Grit.
her fainting was totally a work.
Do you think?
For sure.
I just thought that the exercise was like, let's do something that's definitely going to make someone sick.
Was her fainting the reason for the ambulances?
Yeah.
Oh, for God's sake.
She went unconscious.
Oh,
Did she fuck? She pretended she did. She was going, right, I need an out. What's my out?
Did she bang her head off the
So-
edge of a ring and be unconscious for a minute and a half?
But see, this is
No.
it. Like I know you can get hypothermic and all the rest, but that wasn't it. She just needed a way out, and that was her way out. She fainted. Like.
But you not just ring the bell.
Fella guy was really crying though. Can't fake those tears.
No, he's a real man. Like, he's going to go far.
NFL guy. Oh, American grit. Sorry, I interrupted you, I think, Mike.
No, I was just going to say, if you drink water backwards, it helps with the burpees.
Boom.
Get out. Right. Okay. So next up, let's go to the news.
So the Ghostbusters trailer has been making waves.
Get that movie.
For whatever the bad version of waves would be.
Anti-wave.
Tsunamis.
Tsunami.
Poison. People are angry water. Metaphors are tough.
Yeah.
So the Ghostbusters trailer.
So,
apparently,
Sean, what are you currently studying and teaching to students?
word down paper.
Right. Good. Okay. I just wanted to clarify that. Go on.
So when you guys mentioned that it's the most disliked trailer on YouTube
Yes. Ever.
ever, and Melissa McCarthy was asked in an interview recently about the backlash and the reaction, and like I was wondering, was she going to say, there's a chance that people are, reacting badly to the fact that these are the new all-female Ghostbusters, like this is what we're doing. I was wondering, would she talk about how it was a really shit trailer and people might be angry about that.
Yeah.
But what she said was, it's really strange to her that the trailer is pitched to make it seem like a sequel and not a reboot. Because if you remember at the beginning of the trailer, it talks about 30 years ago, etc., stuff happened.
Yeah.
Well, the Ghostbusters movies in this new Ghostbusters didn't happen. This is like the first time there have ever been Ghostbusters assembled.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I think she's wrong, but I think that that's a clever thing to say about why people might be confused
scapegoat.
and dislike the trailer.
It's another good scapegoat.
What?
Men. As you pointed out, Shona. Of course it's because of misogynistic reasons.
Well, as somebody who
because
can't...
women don't go on and dislike stuff on YouTube. Why would they?
It's always men.
Yeah.
Do you want me to find a bunch of comments people are making about the trailer from
Give us a
men?
sampling there,
We can
son.
do that.
I'm sure there's many from both sides of the fence on that one, I'm sure. But I'm sure there's more on Shona's.
I'm right. Just
no,
say
you
it
are.
once.
You probably are. You probably are. I don't know.
Do you know, in fairness,
but-
I don't remember the trailer, and I don't remember it being
It
really
was
good or
bad.
really bad. But
It
I'm not
was bad.
surprised that people are willing to jump on. Like, I mean, there's been a lot of
No, it
shitty
looked really
films
crap.
and crappy trailers in the history of cinema. But I feel like it being an all-female reboot is going to become kind of a scapegoat for people blaming this film for being shit. When it's not uncommon that there's crappy films, but all of a sudden I think this one's going to be held up as a reason that, like, oh, it doesn't work. Look, the comedy and the women.
You know what? I was looking
All
forward.
the vaginas.
Just pause for a minute.
Wait, you can see their vaginas?
No.
This is an entirely different movie.
Are they ghost vaginas? That's the. No, I was really looking forward to this, and the lineup was fantastic. Yeah, it's just brilliant. But then when I saw it, I was just like, it looks shit. It looks shit.
No.
It was just. I remember we reviewed it here, and we just went, it looks a bit shit. I'm not looking forward to this at all. And it was nothing to do with vaginas.
I was on. That's good to know. That's good to know. I think I was on Mat Leave when you guys reviewed this, because I remember we talked on Twitter about who we thought might be
Oh yeah,
in it, but I wasn't here when you reviewed it, so I need to go and look at it.
Yeah. Come back next week and see I'm right.
I will. I'll do my homework.
In basketball movie news, because they make those movies still, Space Jam 2 has a star and a director.
Is that the one with the dog?
No.
Oh.
Space Jam? Michael Jordan and the aliens? All the Looney Tunes characters?
I
You
was
kidding me
thinking
right now?
Am I thinking of Air Bud? You know, it's like a golden retriever is on a
Yes.
basketball team.
Yes, and then when he became a football player, it was called Golden Receiver. I remember. Yeah. And then the
Very
puppies, for some reason, could talk, even though Air Bud couldn't talk, and they were in space. Anyway, Space Jam 2 has a star and a director. After positive mentions for his supporting role in Amy Schumer's Trainwreck, LeBron James...
Wait, do you mean Posmens? Sorry, that's like a bit in 30 Rock. They have to shoot an episode with Posmens. Anyways, go on. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting.
It's fine. So LeBron James got a production deal with Warner Brothers after, not kind of somewhere between cameoing and guest starring in Trainwreck. and he was like, Space Jam 2. Space Jam 2. So apparently it's happening. No news on who else may be involved. But yeah, maybe a whole new generation of children will get to watch aliens go up against athletes and cartoon characters.
So exciting. And I think that also is a potential category for this year's Bikey is best basketball themed film.
It's bound to be a very competitive category.
Any other news? Anyone?
I heard about the end of Trapped.
Schumer related news.
The end of
Trapped.
Oh yeah.
Remember we reviewed it a while back? Yeah, they found out who did it.
Oh, did they? That's always a satisfying end to a season.
And the road is open again.
Oh, is it? Okay, great. The snows have melted.
Everybody can go home.
Damn, you've just ruined the whole season on everyone.
Fucking spoiler alert.
Sorry, Sean, you're right there. There is Amy Schumer's making the news this week because there was an incident with a fan who I don't know what the circumstances was. In what I read, she was going to the dentist, but maybe that was just an example of when you don't want your picture taken. And this fan with his wife and his child kind of ran up to her and started taking a picture. And as she tells it, she was like, "Stop, no." And he's like, "Your public property, we own you," or something weird like that. And then she's like, "Is this the example you want to set for your children?" And she got really mad and she walked away, and then she came back and she took a picture of him and kind of like, "See how you like it." And then she put his picture up on her Instagram, and she's like, told the story with her caption, that this guy kind of took the picture, even though I said stop, and I said no, what a horrible example to be setting. And this is why I don't take pictures with fans anymore. Now his side of the story is that, he had stopped filming her and she said no, and then she kind of just went off the rails and, she's making him sound more aggressive than he was. But anyways, the end result seems to be that Amy Schumer isn't going to be taking pictures with fans anymore. I suppose there's a larger discussion there about the privacy of celebrities. Maybe a discussion to be had another time in another podcast. But there you go.
So no Amy pictures.
No,
is the upshot of it.
I'm nearly afraid to comment on it.
Jesus, I'm gutted. I was always looking forward to it.
The one weird thing is that the picture of the guy that she put up on her Instagram, he's got like the biggest smile. He's giving a thumbs up to the camera. It's like the friendliest, aggressive fan.
The quote, by the way, that he said was, she was like, "Stop it," and it was, "No, this is America. We paid for you."
That's it.
Oh, wow.
Really creepy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Is that how things work? Okay. Let's start with the first of our movies. Keanu. Sean, tell us.
Keanu is a film from Keegan-Michael Keyes and Jordan Peele. After a breakup, Jordan Peele's character, Rel, finds a really adorable little kitten, and he starts to, really feel better about his life because he has this thing to love and care for and help him recover from his breakup. Keegan-Michael Key's character is a husband who it seems has trouble doing anything for himself instead of just listening to what his wife and other people tell him to do. They get embroiled into some gang warfare because the cat belongs to criminals. So they basically pretend to be really tough gangsters from out of town, and they get embroiled into very situations they're not ready for, almost like they're fish in lava.
Wow. And does it work?
Yeah.
It does.
It really does. So, okay, I don't like cats. I also don't like inside animals in general. Because maybe that's because, when I grew up, like, we had, like, land and a dog that knew how to work the land. But I even went, "Aww," when the cat was, like, running through, like, bullets and things. So it already got me. I was already invested in Keanu. And the
It
two
looks
lads,
super cute. That is a
very
cute kitten.
I'm just loving all this cat love I'm hearing. You've finally been turned.
Well, as someone who's like deathly allergic to cats and generally can't look at one without my eyes watering, this is a really cute cat.
So you get it. You can see why people many people over the course of this film fall for this cat. The humor is there's a lot of sight gags. There's some slapstick stuff with violence. And then the majority of it is just, I guess it's a lot of it is them trying to like prove that they're more manly than they are, or manlier than each other.
Right.
And that's what really gets them fucked. Like that's what really gets them into these situations that they are not prepared for.
Yeah.
Like shit gets like pretty hectic. But you never lose the thread of who they actually are. Like you can see in their faces like how they're really trying to keep it together when they're embroiled in these like situations that like suburban middle-aged men are not in any way ready for. But yeah, there's some really good action sequences in it, and I think they're original. Like they're either commenting on the way action scenes usually go, or the way they thought fights would be like, or they're just doing shit that I haven't seen before. So that was pretty cool. What else?
Are these the two guys that I say big?
Yeah, that's them. That's them. Yeah.
Key and Peele. Yeah. They reference some of their sketches. At one point, they come out of a movie theater and there's a billboard in the background, and they're talking about Liam Neeson's. That they got to see a Liam Neeson's movie. Substitute Teacher was the name. Billboard. And that was just shit that was in the background of shots. That was pretty cool. I believe there may be a Keanu kitty calendar coming.
Nice.
At one point, they do some beauty shots of Keanu, but with famous scenes from movies. Like Heat and Red Dawn and one of the Hannibal Lecters and stuff like that.
Is it a real cat or is it CGI?
Apparently.
I know this.
Yes.
I also know this.
Everybody knows this.
Let me say what I think first, because then if I'm wrong, it'll be interesting. I was like, that's a real cat. That's a real fucking cat. And then I was like, they shouldn't be allowed to do that with a real cat. What if it's not a real cat? Okay.
Mike, you shout first.
Mike,
one.
go. Cat lover.
I was reading during the week. It's 7 real cats.
That's right. It's 7
Yes.
cats. Yeah.
So they took them from the local pound.
They were homeless kitties.
They were homeless kitties.
Now they're movie
and
stars.
they picked a grey one because they're so common.
And then photocopied it.
and then so as you know, filming went on, they get so many of these little grey kitties in, they were just able to replace them as the previous one got too big.
It's like the Dukes of Hazzard when one car gets worn out from a jump. I'll get in another car here.
But the happy ending to that story is that the kitties have all been rehomed.
Yeah, they all got rehomed.
All right. Funeral homed?
So you're doing a good thing by going to support this movie because these kitties all got homes. Now they're famous little celebrity kittens with
Could you
homes.
imagine having Keanu is my cat? That'd be so
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Keanu 6. I got Keanu 6. Scene where he wears a do-rag.
So it's, an hour and 40? Like, does it feel like an hour and 40? Or is it fast-paced? Or how's the pacing, actually? That's my question.
So I was really worried that this was going to be held together by chewing gum and string.
Yeah, like
that
eight-
Yeah, I thought it was going to
jokes,
rely a
you know,
lot
yeah.
on like cute kitties. Like the joke is falling flat. Smash cut to the cute kitty.
Yeah. Well, what I was worried about was that it would just be a series of jokes, and they do things that make no sense. Because there's a big difference between like sustaining a plot in a 3-minute sketch, which is mostly just sustained character, and an hour and 40-minute action comedy.
Yeah.
But it actually makes sense. Like, genuinely, there's never something where I go, that would never happen.
Right.
There's something make any... Well,
Yeah.
sometimes people do backflips, and I'm like...
There's a
I'm
kitten
impressed.
at the head of like a gangster plot, so there was never a point where you thought that would not happen.
Gangsters like kittens.
Sean, I'm beginning to
Nothing wrong.
question your entire education.
I'm serious. See the movie. Look, it generally is just a story of some people going really, really far to get back their kitty.
Cool.
Great performances from the lads. And yeah, I would only not recommend this movie to maybe like my mom. My mom shouldn't see this movie, but everybody else should.
Okay.
There you go.
Give us a mark.
Shit. This is one of the better action comedies This is up there with 22 Jump Street.
Shamedy.
Yeah, everyone go see this and love it. It's an 8 out of 10.
Oh, nice
Nice.
one. Yeah,
Mhm.
I plan to see this.
I did
Yeah.
not see that coming.
Yeah. I thought you were booing because you expected an 11. I expect you to give it an 11, actually.
Kitties
Oh,
automatically
yeah.
get it a rating of what? At least 7.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to see this movie.
Cool. We have to find the release date, actually.
Yeah.
No sign of it yet.
Mike might
Please
actually
release
cry.
it over here.
Oh my
I
God.
will. I'm gonna have to like go to the cinema equipped.
Can you bring your kitten with you to go see the movie?
Wouldn't that be
Oh
so
my
cool?
God, please.
Man, the
And
amount
take
of,
pictures.
there isn't enough antihistamines in the world for you to go to that. It's just
I was going to take pictures of Mike bringing his kitten to go see Keanu with him.
I could just put him in a little duffel bag with me.
Put it in the get an extra large popcorn and put him in the popcorn box
Oh,
and then
yeah,
be eating the
that's a
popcorn
brilliant
and his
idea.
little head pops up and he's like meow and then you watch Keanu.
So I completely forgot there was another aspect to my movie going experience.
Was there a kitten in a popcorn box?
No, if only. So the movie made 10 million back so far. Just in the opening weekend, Keanu made 10 million. And we were like in the movie theater, like wondering about the other films that were there because it seemed like there was a drought for like a week or two leading up to Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
And Ratchet and Clank is a movie that came out based on a video game that was
Yeah.
popular 10 years ago.
oh, more, I'd say, yeah.
And the 3D.
Popular again with the reboot from the movie.
Okay.
It was a
Well,
PlayStation 3 title.
Oh,
There's been about 4 or 5 iterations, a couple of games in the Vita as well.
they weren't charging extra for 3D.
oh,
They literally haven't sold enough. They're just like,
Please
just
come
go.
see our
Just
movie.
we'll give you extra glasses if you want. It's fine. So it was just completely empty. It was
Wow.
fortunate for any fans of that franchise. Doesn't seem to be doing well. At least at my local or anywhere else in the world.
Speaking of movies doing badly, I was reading during the week about. Do you remember that Keanu Reeves movie we reviewed recently?
John Wick.
No,
Oh.
the
The other one.
the imaginary thing with the dead people and the train station
Sixth Sense.
and.
The Matrix.
It was the controversial one where they remade the movie as a Keanu movie.
Yeah. And, because there was a big row with the director didn't want his name on it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was the one. Well, I was reading during the week on the opening weekend in the UK. That movie took £58.
No. What kind of release did it have, though?
Serious? I don't know.
Like one showing in one theater?
Yeah, maybe up in Inverness or something.
Oh, God, that's bad.
Yeah.
I wonder if the director who wanted his name removed is like, yeah, I told you to remove
Yeah,
my
yeah.
name, this movie sucks. Or if now he's like, oh my God, my career was fledgling, but now it is down the toilet.
It wasn't called Passengers, was it?
I can't remember what it was called.
We reviewed it and we don't even remember the name of
Yes,
it.
that-
That's
that-
how good, air quotes, that movie was.
God, I can't remember. That's killing me now. Anyway.
I think it was you put it on the list.
I know, yeah. If you remember what it's called, email us. Is it a bicycle? Was it
Imagine or something like that? Or...
Exposed? I think it
Could
was
be.
called. Yeah.
Well, looks like the director's lack of ability to make a good movie was what was exposed.
Well, actually, the whole point was he wanted to make a completely different movie, and then Keanu came in and they made it about him instead of was it Spanish? Was that it? Yeah. Anyway, okay. Next up, we have a second of our movies, which is Captain America. Is it 2? 3?
3.
3.
All the Marvel universe is beginning to kind of swirl around in my head, and I can't tell an Avengers from a Captain America.
There's only one man can give us a synopsis on this. Mark Leonard. You're on mute, Mark.
Political pressure mounts to install a system of accountability when the actions of the Avengers leads to collateral damage. The new status quo deeply divides members of the team. Captain America believes superheroes should remain free to defend humanity without government interference. Iron Man sharply disagrees and supports oversight. As the debate escalates into an all-out feud, Black Widow and Hawkeye must pick a side. So loosely
That was
based on the Marvel comic arc of the same name, Captain America Civil War basically pits Iron Man against Captain America, where they each kind of do what we used to do in, we're picking football teams when we're kids. We go, right, Captain America, you go first, and then I'll pick.
Yeah.
I want Hawkeye. Oh, fuck. Well, I want you won, the witch one. What's her name? She was in the last film. I can barely remember who she is. Wanda. I want Wanda.
You're one who's sister to two twins. Yeah.
Yeah.
Her.
The shit twin. The shit twin. Is the fast lad around? He'd be fucking deadly. He could be in goals and up striking and back in
Like
goals.
the fifth Beatle.
Fuck him, he is sister, so. As is heard in many a nightclub around the country.
He'll buy you chips and burgers afterwards.
So, I was going into this, I watched this in 3D. They fucking charged me extra for 3D, I can tell you. But it is my best 3D experience in a long time, this film, you know. It was in a smaller screen, than I usually wind up in my local theatre here.
Yeah.
But I actually ducked and thought I was dead at one point in it, thanks to 3D. And, I'm sure, like, there was very few of us in there. I'm sure it was pretty obvious when my whole seat fucking went back as I tried to get away from something on screen. But the 3D is good. So if you are going to see this movie, I recommend the 3D experience straight out of the gate.
I'd recommend if you're going to see this movie to bring a sleeping bag because it's very long. It's about
It's
4
too
days
long.
long. It's
Yeah,
about
it
4
is too-
days long.
Go, Steve. Go.
Yeah.
You're up.
No. Just let's.
No, you're up.
As you're on that subject.
No, I wasn't. You jumped in. You're up.
No, that was the biggest criticism. It's too long.
Mm-hmm. Did
Way
you try
too
holding
long.
your breath? That makes it much more exciting.
So what else do you think, Steve?
What else did they? Well, it's same standard as the rest of them. It's no less, no more. It's got its, at this stage it's getting to the stage where they have a checklist.
Mm-hmm.
They've got their humor, Tony Stark and others this time, and they've got their pretty ones.
Mm-hmm.
Good God, Scarlett was gorgeous.
Scarlett.
Gorgeous. in this.
Scarlett.
I don't
Still
know.
haven't forgiven her.
Fine wine, I'm telling you. And you've got plenty of action. There's about 45 minutes of thumping the heads off each other in this, and you've got your surprise stuff, which I won't mention. And I don't know. I guess the story was different, and it was a bit more advanced, let's say, than the last couple of movies that they did. They'd moved on a bit. It's a little bit, there's a little bit more to it. Let's say,
They're on to the second book.
yeah. But yeah. I mean, if you love Avengers, you're gonna love this. You're gonna love this. Yeah. Mike, what are you laughing at? Come on, you're up. As Mark would say.
I was watching this actually in 2D, and one thing I'll give them is it didn't look shit in 2D. A lot of the times 3D movies, when you go to see them in 2D, it kind of looks a little bit like a leftover Cabbage Patch Kid or something. It's just not quite right.
Okay.
This looked like it was made in 2D, so that was good. And there were too many shots where I was thinking, oh yeah, they just put that in for the 3D. Yeah, but I don't have the glasses, so fuck me.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the cinema was full of kids and their parents being dragged along, obviously to supervise them, and the children, I think, really appreciated the extended action sequences.
Yeah.
As did the fanboys. I was pretty sure. Do you know the big scene in the trailer where all the Avengers get together running at each other?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was a couple of people near me masturbating when that.
It must have been nice to have company, Mike.
It wasn't just you. Yeah.
How to Pass Long Films by Mike McDonough. Well, you see, take the cat out of the popcorn box.
And then you put a hole in the
I
bottom of
was
the
just gonna
popcorn
say-
box.
Someone's got to start singing that song.
So here's a funny thing about this movie for me, right? When you've got a year of comics to come up with a reason why Captain America and Iron Man shouldn't get on, so much so that they have to fight like and actually try and do each other in. You've got a lot of time to make it make sense, right? So for it all to be cohesive. In a movie, you don't have that much time. In the same way as they didn't have that much time in Batman versus Superman, in the same way they didn't take enough time in Revenge of the Sith, right? So you have to turn somebody bad, or at least get them to a really serious misunderstanding, so that the only way around it is to try and kill each other. Because usually, particularly for superheroes, that's pretty far down the list of first options, right? I thought that although they did probably a clumsier job in Batman versus Superman, and I've been trying to put my finger on why this is the case for a while. They did it a bit more clumsily in Batman versus Superman, but I thought it worked better there. And the only thing that I can kind of point to is the size of the cast in Captain America Civil War. There's just so many people, and they all need to get some screen time. That it detracted from the relationship, the breaking down of the relationship between Captain America and Iron Man. And like they're both fit to do it. I thought Captain America was really weak in this as well. I don't think it was one of the better performances. Iron Man, Tony Stark was...
This is a man who pulled a helicopter out of the sky with one hand. He's not weak.
Okay, right. I just thought it was a relatively weak performance, right? And I always struggle to discern the writing from the performance, but I think this was a weak performance here. Because I didn't really feel it, right? Like when Iron Man was trying to show you how hurt he was, like we saw in the trailer where he goes, I was your friend too, or so was I, or I thought I was your friend, whatever it is he says. You kind of felt that a bit more acutely than any of the stuff Captain America had to say. And that was a real problem, because you're laying the weight for this film on those two guys getting it right, And I thought there was an awful lot of distractions. So many distractions. Like, the film was called Captain America. It should just have been called Avengers. Avengers Civil War. Why not? Like, I thought they made decent use of the Vision. He used to annoy the tits out of me in the comics. I dislike how they're using Wanda, but that's because I'm kind of tied to her comic persona. And that's fine. They didn't do that bad a job. I like the way they reimagined the reason behind the whole Registration Act and all of that. For me, it seems like they did everything right, but it just didn't add up to the result I was hoping for. I was looking for some serious emotional resonance. I wanted to be invested in the conflict, when in reality, I was just hoping that Spider-Man was come back on scene.
You didn't have a problem with the bad guy?
How do you mean, Mike? I've told you my problems with the film, right? Those are my problems.
Yeah, I had a major problem with the bad guy. I thought it was...
Bad guy. Oh, yeah.
I thought, A, he was far too weak, and B, he didn't... There was no real level of threat, and, we don't even get an idea of his motivation until nearly the end of the movie. And he's not some kind of Blofeld dude stroking a cat, that looks threatening just sitting behind a desk. He's not a physically imposing guy or anything. He looks more like an angry accountant half the time. And
that's all the rage, though. Look at Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
They didn't need him in there.
No.
He was unnecessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a big problem when it's the main bad guy.
Yeah.
But I think, but this is more of it. This is what I was saying about how trying to build up. They had to have somebody like him there, the way they had to have Lex Luthor in Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
Because you've like an hour to get the two main guys to where they hate each other.
Yeah.
You can do it in the comics without another person being the catalyst.
Yeah.
But you just don't have the time in this. So I think they need to put in something like that. They obviously think that it could stand on just these people are diametrically opposed in their points of view, and sometimes when that happens, they wind up at war.
Yeah.
They should look at some of the history in this country to see how that works.
Yeah, but even his motivation when it came out at the end, I almost started laughing. I was like, you see, that's what this movie is about.
It wasn't what I expected, knowing what I do about the character, yeah. But,
yeah.
Favorite character?
Favorite character? It's probably got to be Scarlet, really.
Okay,
come on, mate.
No, hang on.
Come
No,
on.
sorry, that's my fault. I should have said apart from Scar.
Thanks for the clarification. Yeah. I always liked the Arrow dude.
Oh, the Arrow dude, Mike.
Arrow
Yeah, you
dude,
like him?
Because he's
You like him enough to remember his name?
Well, I have to say, by far,
Yeah.
mine was Spider-Man.
Yes, I
Oh,
know.
no, he was
I thought
annoying.
that's what you were shooting for, right?
Yeah. That's why I was trying to see if he was shooting the same way, but no, I just thought he was brilliant. Yeah.
Oh, he
He was the best incarnation of Spider-Man that I've seen yet, I thought.
It was fresh anyway. It was definitely
Certainly.
fresh.
Yeah.
Um,
That's a movie that I'd like to see if they're making another Spider-Man, is that character. I think all the previous ones, they didn't have it. I think he had the charisma for the real Spider-Man. That's the Spider-Man.
The wisecracking, yeah.
No, that I would relate to is that Spider-Man. From the limited amount of comics and cartoons that I've watched in the past,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And why did they have to bring in Ant-Man?
Oh, he was really good.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. Hey,
But he was
look,
part of the dilution of the cast.
Yes.
everyone
I
else
think
was in there.
Gave it its
you know.
problems.
Yeah.
Yeah. He would have felt left out.
He was really funny.
I thought he was quite cool, actually.
Yeah.
I also thought it was a bit, what's the word? A bit crap the way they kind of engineered the story to negate the overwhelming imbalance of power that Witch Girl and and Skittlehead dude have compared to the rest of them.
You mean the Vision?
Yeah. Like those people are. They're like those people are almost godlike in their superpowers, relative to say Captain America. Like, I could see.
Or Arrow Boy.
Yeah. But so they always have to come up with some bullshit reason why their superpowers are negated, and then all the weaker characters like Captain America or Iron Man.
Yeah, because the movie'd only be like 5 minutes long.
Exactly,
otherwise,
Hold on now, though. Iron Man is not one of the weaker characters. Like, as superheroes go, he's fairly well up there. Like.
Compared to the Vision. The Vision would take Iron Man any fucking day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Yeah, agreed. But Iron Man is a tier above Captain America, though.
Oh yeah, but I'd put both of them as B-list superheroes when it comes to advanced powers. Like Witch Girl would take an F-15 and
Wanda.
throw it out of the sky.
Wanda.
Yeah.
Wanda
Or the Scarlet Witch,
Yeah,
whichever.
Yeah. There's just no comparison in the level of powers they have. Like Captain America can run fast and punch pretty hard. But,
Do you know what this film is a great example of? Overuse of the front kick.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Everybody front kicked everybody.
Yeah.
Like, and there's something, do you know what have you ever seen any of those cartoons where somebody has a robot arm and they lift something really heavy and the arm tears off at the shoulder?
Yeah.
I kept waiting for that to happen to Bucky. But there was just so many examples of them defying the laws of physics. Like, if you run at something that's much, much heavier than you and you front kick it, it doesn't move. And there was, I wish, like, this time I was watching this film and I was actually thinking to myself, I wish I still believed that martial arts were real. Like, I wish I believed in Taekwondo and karate and Kung Fu and all of that stuff, because then I would watch something like this and go, oh my God, I want to be a superhero. Whereas now I look at it and just go, that wouldn't work, that wouldn't work, that wouldn't work, And it takes a lot of the joy out of it, which is why I guess they aim a lot of this stuff at kids, like, but you can never go back. Anyway, too many front kicks.
On the positive side, it had possibly the single best motorbike hijacking I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That was cool.
Well, short of, what was the name of the Tom Cruise movie? It was
Mission Impossible
the one that was
17.
directed by your man, Hong
John
Kong.
Woo.
Yeah. Bar that.
Yeah.
That was the best one.
Am I 2, I think?
Yeah. It was actually, yeah. 2 or 3. I think it was 2, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We done?
I think I'm kind of done.
Yeah.
Because I don't really want
Don't want to
to
say
get,
too much.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I appreciate it's not out in the States yet, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, we're not spoiling it anyway. But I think, Steve, one of its other flaws was that it was too long. I don't want to go back over because you already mentioned it. But there was a big stretch in the middle where you're going, come on.
Yeah.
And I've said this before. I said this about Iron Man 3, I think maybe. Sorry, X-Men 3. But when you expand the character list and the narrative becomes so diffuse, it's really difficult to tell a good story. And to tell one that's essentially, like you said, that it's a complicated story. They tried their best to tell a complicated superhero story. And I'm glad they did, and I hope they keep doing it. But I think it's just too spread out. And it being spread out meant it took longer to do it. So it just kind of, I think it became a victim of its own inertia, really.
Yeah. After the credits, what'd you think?
Yeah. I stayed for the right,
Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't finished. I was still touching myself.
No comment then. Okay, good. Okay, do you want to mark it?
Okay. I'll give it it's a pretty average 5, I think.
Were you not entertained?
Well, I mean, the movie is nearly 3 hours long, and there's probably only, 38 minutes of Scarlet in it. So,
Mark?
I'm bitterly disappointed in this. I think Batman vs Superman was a better film, which I never thought I'd say. But there is a lot of good in it. Some of the best 3D, as I mentioned.
there's still good in him.
So look, it's a 6. I don't think anybody would not be able to enjoy this movie. So there's still a lot of merit to it. It just didn't tell the story I was hoping for.
Biggest flaw is it's too long. And second biggest flaw is there's too much thumping of heads of people that, it does nothing to. Which really annoys me about superhero movies.
Yeah. Nobody gets hurt.
It's like, you're just, what's the point? You're not even wasting energy because you're just unlimited amounts of it. Anyway.
Yeah. Why don't they all just play chess against each other or something?
Just heads or tails, job done,
Rock, paper, scissors.
Exactly. So it meant to the same thing, So, but Spider-Man, I loved it. When he came into it, it was just like, okay, this is cool. Yeah, I enjoyed it from there, I have to say. Really enjoyed this character. And, of course, as you mentioned, Mike Scarlett. So I'm going to give it a 7. Yeah. Believe it or not.
Hang on, who took the real Steve?
I know. I think Sean is going to love the shit out of this, though. I'm giving it an 11.
Of course.
Yeah. Can't wait to hear his review of it. Then again, he could come back and go, this thing!
Yeah.
God damn it!
That's right, didn't he not like Batman
Superman?
Yeah. Fucking dipshit.
Well, hopefully, Captain America will be a good movie. And that won't happen.
Yeah. Oh, you really went to town on poor old Batman.
Yeah.
Okay. So next up we've got our TV, which was The Girlfriend Experience. Shona, do you want to tell us about The Girlfriend Experience?
Sure. The Girlfriend Experience is a new TV show that we reviewed this week. What did you think, Steve? No. I don't have the actors' names to hand. Is the only reason I'm.
It's Elvis Presley's granddaughter.
Is it?
Yeah, plays Carrie.
Which one is Carrie?
Caroline.
The brunette or the dark?
The main character.
The like kind of light brown.
Riley.
Yeah.
There we go. Anyway,
she's no, that's her real name. She's Elvis's granddaughter.
Isn't right? I thought it was Carrie. Was it? Or anyway, yeah, she's Lisa Marie's daughter.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have a young woman who is interviewing for internships, studying law at the moment. Meets a friend in school. Who has an older gentleman friend. They start hanging out together, and it turns out that her friend is a high-class escort, and she gets roped in to doing it. I thought The Girlfriend Experience was going to be a comedy, but The Girlfriend Experience is actually, it's a drama. It's about what they're selling as luxury escorts to men with a lot of money. So what did everybody think?
So, yeah, she's, you're right. Riley, is it Keogh?
Yeah.
Yeah, Riley Keogh.
Irish, I'd say.
Yeah, Christine, not Carrie, yes. Yeah, Christine Reed, she plays. And Erin Roberts from 24. She's in it too. She plays another lawyer in there as well.
Chloe, isn't it?
Yeah, Chloe, exactly. Yeah.
From 24.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this. Straight off the bat. I'm going to watch more of this. This is definitely a thriller straight away.
More.
Yeah.
This was so good.
Yeah,
Have you got?
it's really good.
You haven't just bothered to try and justify your.
No, I'm
opinion.
going to
It's
get
just
to that.
Yeah, this is great.
No, I'm just bursting with enthusiasm. I just have to get it out. No, I thought it was good. I thought it was.
And all the episodes are available
well,
to view.
You see, this is the bloody thing with these kind of programs. I watched the first episode, and I recommend to anyone, once it's over, turn it off. Don't watch what's coming up in the season, because it completely ruins the season for you.
Oh, yeah. No, I
Because
turned
I was
that
like-
part off anyway.
I don't know if I really want to watch the rest of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I was just like, okay, now I know it's going to fucking happen. You know?
Oh.
Whereas...
I'm so glad I didn't watch that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I thought it was just going to be like, next.
Don't
on
spoil it for me now.
Girlfriend. No,
I don't
I'm not
wanna
going to
know.
tell you. But I think you know from your synopsis anyway. But next on Girlfriend Experience, and then I thought it might be just the next episode, but it seemed to be like the whole fucking. I
A
was
season
sort of going,
preview, yeah. They
what?
do that sometimes.
That doesn't all happen in the next episode.
Oh.
Anyway, I was bitterly disappointed with that.
But
bastard.
onto the pilot. Steve.
Anyway, onto
so
the
what
pilot.
did you like about it?
Witty, charming, and intelligent. And bought all my drinks, so I was happy. Oh, no, all right. But it wasn't my girlfriend experience anyway, I can tell you. No, I thought she was brilliant. Very convincing. I thought dialogue was great. Writing is great. Story moved along. It doesn't dwell on anything. It sort of, once it sort of examined something and made the point, it's on to the next one. I love that. I loved both her normal working life and her nightlife. I loved the juxtaposition, let's say, and I think it's very well acted. I can't say anything negative about it, really.
Yeah, I think
Only about the fucking thing at the end.
The one thing that surprised me, because I didn't know anything about the show kind of going into it, was how, because if you were to say to me, this is a TV show about like a law student who needs money and she starts doing like escort services,
Yeah.
I'd roll my eyes at you and be like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
But it's really intelligent, like you said, and it's a type of role that is really based on a very strong and very intelligent woman. You know, she's doing these, you see her when you see her at the beginning of the episode, and she's interviewing for these internships, and you know, she's doing all of her research, and she knows exactly what employers are looking for. You know, she's like, they just want to hear their own words spouted back at them. And you kind of cop on right away that she's very, very
Mercenary.
Yeah.
very good, Mike. She's very tuned in, I think, and she's quite perceptive about people, and she kind of knows how to give them what they want, and she plays the game. You know, she's very kind of dark and mysterious. She doesn't say much, but there's a lot going on behind the eyes. You see when she gets her job at a law firm that immediately there's a tension with the big guy in the office, and my guess is that at some point in the season he's gonna find out that she's an escort. Maybe he'll be a client of hers, and I really look forward to seeing what happens there, because already in the first episode they did a great job of writing and acting the tension between the two of them. You know, she's an underling. I mean, she's an intern at a law firm, and he's this, you know, big head honcho, and yet somehow they still manage to kind of have sparks between the two of them. And it's believable the way that she kind of falls into being an escort. You know, she has a friend that she makes, and her friend says, you know, come with me tonight when I'm going to meet this guy. And by the time she kind of cops on to what's happening between her friend and this guy, you know, she's not surprised, and she kind of knows what she wants out of those transactions. You see in her own personal sex life, that's very much kind of how she operates anyways. She's very much in control, and she knows what she likes. And so for her, it doesn't seem like it's a huge step making that move into doing, you know, paid escorts and, you know, going out with these older men who have money to spend on her and her time and sex. So it's really well done, and she acts it in such a way, it's written in a way, and she acts it in such a way that it's believable for her character. And you know, she's kind of dark and quiet enough that I'm really interested to see how she handles the various things that are going to come up against her character over the course of the season, and how she's going to develop and handle things. So and then there's characters around her, like her friend and the men that they meet and the guy in her law firm, that I can't wait to see more interaction with them. So yeah, like Steve, I don't think I actually already saw episode 2. There's nothing.
No way.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying this show, which really surprised me because again, I would not have said this is a show I would watch, but it's really well done.
One of the writers in this, one of the creators, Amy Schmeimitz, I think her name is. She was in 14 episodes of The Killing, but she was also in. Do you remember we watched Upstream Color?
Yeah.
A couple of years ago. She was the main lady, let's say, in that of the couple, let's say, which I thought was a bit of trivia. Yeah.
Jesus.
I know. Yeah. But yeah, who else saw this?
I did.
Tell us.
Didn't like it at all.
Why?
It involved a strong, intelligent woman. What would Mike want to do with that?
Well,
that didn't immediately have sex unless she wanted to.
Ooh, does it pass the Bechdel test?
Yes.
This is the Bechdel test.
Yeah.
It's the what do you call them? Oh my god, I shouldn't talk until I know words.
It's a Bechdel fest.
Thank you.
My main problem with this is that there are no likable people in it. You know,
What's not likable about the women?
well,
Their personalities.
from a starting point, you know, anybody who wants to be a corporate lawyer is instantly, you know, that there's something fundamentally morally reprehensible about them.
That's what I loved about her boss. I thought her boss was cool. John Sparks.
He's a dick. She's a dick. Her friend is a dick. Her boss's assistant is a dick. Their customers are dicks. I like there's nobody in this show to
Even
root
their
for.
dicks are dicks.
Even their pussies are dicks.
You know, I just can't understand how you can root for those kind of people, like, because like they're not horrible enough to be evil, where you kind of appreciate the true dark side of the Force. These people are they're just what's the word? Generic,
Banal,
dickness.
mundanely
Yeah,
evil.
banalidicness. Is that a word?
Benevolence.
And therein lay my problem. I thought, you know, the dialogue was good, and you know, it clipped along at a good pace, and there wasn't a problem with believability. In fact, it was probably too believable, because I wasn't stepping back and saying, "Oh, that never happened." But yeah, I just couldn't identify with anybody or root for anybody. So, you know,
Rooting interest wasn't there for you.
no,
Ah.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I've had that problem many times.
yes.
But did you not just have crazy hair envy the whole episode? Because I did. I was just like, their hair is amazing.
Mark, did you have hair envy?
So, I thought that this was going to be some kind of sitcom and or reality TV show.
Yeah.
Imagine my disappointment.
Were you actually disappointed?
So disappointed. I thought it was going to be great. It's going to be some throwaway reality TV show where like somebody pretends to be somebody's girlfriend. Then I went, maybe it's a new version of Wife Swap. How great would that be? Because like Wife Swap is tried and tested, but you jink with the formula and it's new again. Anyway, it's not that at all. So don't be fooled by the title. A very misleading title.
It is. I'll agree with you. They should have done better on the title.
Me too, and I'm wondering, did I love this because I was so going in with such low expectations that I went,
yeah.
all right.
So take it from the Steven Soderbergh movie of the same name, I believe.
Ah.
So they lied to me in the title, and then I got in there, and pretty quickly there was some sex.
Mm-hmm.
But then that stopped.
But they're attractive people sex. You must appreciate that.
No, I did. I loved it. And when I saw the sex, I kind of started, you know,
Look at his eyes.
urging them on. I was doing some twerking in my chair going, yeah, that's how we do.
Oh, that sounds so creepy, Mark.
And then the sex stopped and all of this talking started. I was going, is this going to be the whole, is this it? Is this what they do in this show? They talk? And it seems it is. And I 100% agree with Mike. I didn't like anyone in it. The main girl in there, I was going, what's the deal? Like, what is the deal? I was just a bit confused as to why I was supposed to be on her side. And I wasn't. Except when, you know, the sex was happening.
Because you empathize with her, I think. And her struggles.
Her struggles.
Yeah. She works so hard.
She does work really hard. I'll say that about her.
And then she's trying to be mates with her mate, and she's just trying to be a mate's mate, and then she's put in an awkward position, and then she goes, okay.
But there was umpteen.
She was weak for a minute.
Umpteen positions where, no pun intended, where they could have gone for some HLA.
Oh, come on, Mark.
What's HLA?
Hot lesbian
Hot
action.
lesbian action.
There was like umpteen, and because I thought it was a certain type of show when I saw the sex early in the episode, I figured any minute now they're going to go, "Would you like to see me kiss my girlfriend?" And then
just wait for episode 2.
The old guy that is paying her all this money would go, "Yeah," and then they would. But none of that happened. I said, this is so unrealistic. None of the porn I watch is like this.
So if it was called regular prostitution, sure, maybe that's what the show would be. But it's called the girlfriend experience for a reason. Like, the dude that's paying all this money to her friend isn't paying so he can have sex with her constantly. He's only around a couple days a month. He's doing it because he wants to feel a certain way. He wants to have someone make him feel whatever it is that person provides, whatever it is that guy asks for. And I think that is psychologically, it's academically interesting. And then how to turn that into a TV show, it's interesting. I can see why they tried to do a movie first. So I just pulled that up. Am I interrupting you, Mark? Do you have more?
No, it's sometimes I feel like, you don't understand me, Sean. It's almost like you think when I'm being funny that I mean it all. So yeah, it's not the kind of stuff that I look for. I was bitterly disappointed when it turned out to be a drama. I'm not interested into seeing how she turns high-end prostitution and her legal career into some high-powered future. It's just not an interesting story to me. And I think there was some missteps with the characterization. Her coldness is probably what makes her good at the various things that she does, but it makes it hard to relate to her. And
yeah, she's a bit of a Kirsten Stewart heading her, doesn't she?
No, but I think that's what works so much in her favor. I think it's the thing that I like about her, like where Mike says there's nothing relatable or likable about her. Maybe I'd say that's true, but I don't think that's the point. For me, what I found to be so captivating was how calculating she is, and I think her being cold,
almost like a man.
Oh my God! So yeah,
I'm going to run away now.
So all of her,
I'm actually swallowing rage. I'm actually just compacting it to a ball at the bottom of my stomach.
Will you do burpees later?
So that my really, really strong arms don't just punch Mike's lights out. Mark, please rescue Mike from himself.
I will repress, Shona. That's what you need to do with all that rage. Repress it. So because of her coldness, and I found it hard to relate to her, and then, as Mike has already pointed out, it makes her a little bit difficult to like. So whatever other interest I would have had in her character development was kind of robbed from me in that. Anyway, in episode 2, any HLA at all?
There is some.
No way. I fucking was right. I should write this shit.
Are you ruining this again for me?
Sorry. Are you really surprised to hear it, though?
No, I saw it coming. There's more than a little bit of a hint of it. Yeah. Sean.
So the Steven Soderbergh movie came out in 2009, and the part of Christine / Chelsea was played by Sasha Grey, whose work usually involves her getting pounded in the ass. Steven Soderbergh hired a porn star very specifically, and it was her first acting role outside of that. And it's interesting. The reason I said it could work as a movie, why they would try and do that first, is because I think we do all see in the first episode what we expect to happen. Two sides of her life are going to become entangled. It's going to cause problems for her. Will she be able to make it out somehow? Or will she choose one side over the other? What's it going to be? I agree in part about the likability thing. The part where I started to like her is when she says, okay, I'll be Chelsea. And she basically starts to pull the piss out of the gentleman who shows up. So she agrees to go on a drinks date. I wasn't sure if she agreed to go for drinks with her friend and the boyfriend, or if she knew there was going to be a guy there for her. I wasn't sure if that was revealed to her before she showed up. But in my head, it wasn't, and she just rolled with it immediately. And she started to just say shit like, "How did you guys meet?" "Oh, we used to date. Yeah. And then he was like, "No, come on, seriously." And you could tell this dude was already in. And she was just like, "Oh, it was yoga. Hot yoga instructor." And I was like, okay, I appreciate that at least now she's using her abilities to understand what people want and want said to them to at least have fun rather than just fill out paperwork correctly. Or too good is one of her skills is she fills out paperwork too good. And I was like, yeah, that's going to cause problems that I want to watch. I want to see how her paperwork filling out skills lead to some excitement. So the pacing in this is slow. I don't usually watch stuff like that. And I mean, I can watch dramas or comedies or whatever, and they don't have to be like doing kisses or fights constantly. I just want shit to be happening and going down. But this was the meditative pace of this, while well achieved, I wasn't particularly invested in it. I think that's just a subjective thing, though. The locations are really pretty and well chosen. It's lit very well. But because it's so put together, I just kind of started to be like, I get it. It's a grey world. I understand. People don't care about each other the way that we think that they do. It was well performed as well. Paul Sparks, who we remember playing the book writer from House of Cards. He was also in Boardwalk Empire. This was the first time I was like, I like you. That's really good. I thought that he did do a great job in that one scene and with any of the looks that he shot throughout the episode of getting me on board with who he was as a person.
He's absolutely brilliant in Boardwalk Empire. He's one of my favourite characters in it. He's hilarious.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they have a good cast put together. It's all really, really well done. But I think with the movie, I'm fine with slow pacing because I know, look, stuff's going to happen. And then the movie's going to be over and I'll have gotten the full experience. But I don't want to sign up for a 10 or 12 or 22 half-hour installment of things happening by subtle increments. Now, I did look through the episode descriptions. It's streaming on Amazon, and it's made by Stars, but it was streaming on Amazon, so I went there to watch it, and I saw all the episode descriptions, and I just scrolled through and was like, oh, okay, stuff does happen. Fair enough. So I think if I could make it through to episode 5, maybe I'd be changing my tune, but I'm not willing to devote any more time to it. I think it's very well put together, but it's not for me.
Okay. So, filler. Mark, filler.
Yeah, filler for me. Even the thought of HLA isn't going to make me watch another episode. That's serious.
Mike is filler.
Wow.
And 2 thrillers, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
We're on our own. We're just going to have to report back and tell them how
It's a really good show.
brilliant it is.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, next up, we've got some previews. Come to a bicycle near you. So the first one we looked at, No Stranger Than Love. But what could be stranger than love?
Oh, this looks like such a
I
hipster
tell
movie.
you what could be stranger than love.
A hole in your
Mumblecore.
Big hole opening in a what?
It's mumblecore. That's the
Mumblecore.
genre, I think. It's like a hipster thing.
Yeah,
Mumblecore is a type of music hipsters listen to because people mumble a lot.
This actually reminded me of 500 Days of Summer in terms of like the little kitschy animation and like Pixie Girl being like, "Oh, I'm in love. Oh my God, there's a man in my floor."
That's
oh,
Alison Brie.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and she's
And
great.
Tom
but
Hanks' son
this
falls
movie
into her
just-
floor after he says he loves her.
Colin Hanks.
Literally, a hole opens underneath him, and he falls
Yeah.
in. And then he's stuck between floors.
Life
Oh my
is
God, what a
hard.
conundrum.
It looks like such bullshit. Oh my God, it's just so esoteric. Like, who
Does
cares?
this come out on like Valentine's Day, and are they
You
going
know,
to start touting it as like great date
I
film?
don't think that the trailer voiceover helps, you know.
No.
It's they've really trying to go for it in a world this fall, you know, this kind of thing, you know.
Isn't it crazy that love,
What could be stranger than love? We'll tell you.
a man falling through your floor?
Yeah.
It looks dumb.
I know It looks stupid, but I'd probably watch it if it was put in front of me. You know, it
Well,
looks.
you want to know what was going on. Yeah, it does have that going for it.
Yeah, it looks kind of funny.
No, I don't
stupid.
care.
Yeah.
Because I bet in the movie they're just going to chalk it up to like, this is the weird world that she lives in. Men fall on her floor when
Look
they
how
love
quirky
her.
it is.
Yeah.
The other aspect to the movie, I think it's the actor's name is Justin Chatwin. He was in
It
War
is.
of the Worlds, and he played Goku in that terrible Dragon Ball movie. He is just like was born into a family of criminals and is trying really hard to be like scary and a criminal.
Yeah.
And if the movie was just about that, I'd be like, so wait, you're gonna fall in love with her, and then you're gonna try and escape your family, and there's gonna be like fights and stuff, and maybe it'd be thrilling and humorous. That kind of movie I could be on board for, but it's really pushing the guy in the hole. It's really pushing that. Now I did like when it said the names of the actors, when there was images of the actors, and it said Colin Hanks' name, and it was just the hole. That was kind of funny. It was good trailer work. But yeah, I think for anyone who's interested in that kind of movie, go check out the recent Mr. Right, starring Sam Rockwell and Anna Kendrick.
Oh, absolutely. Anna Kendrick's in it. Okay. Oh, is she in How to Be Single?
Yes,
Anna
that too.
Kendrick?
Oh, okay.
I'll report back on both next week.
Yeah, I might.
I saw How to Be Single. It's one of
Yeah.
the few films I've seen recently.
I might see that too recently. Yeah. Cool. Next one we looked at was Bad Moms. So Mila Kunis, Kirsten Bell, Christine Applegate, and others. So 3 moms who are just tired of being good moms decide to go bad from the makers of The Hangover. Guess what happens?
Can I just say, when I was watching this trailer, I was just like, this premise is insulting. But then I put the trailer off, and I thought, so my daughter is having a naming day ceremony in a few weeks. Now, this is like a non-religious christening ceremony, and I have a bunch of people coming over to my house. So I turned the trailer off, and I was just like, now what am I going to do for the food? No, I'll have to make it myself. Can I just like get Betty Crocker and like make cupcakes, or am I going to get judged because I don't make them from scratch? Maybe I should make them. No, I don't have enough time. And then I went from making fun of this trailer for moms trying to be perfect to being a mom trying to be perfect. So I was like, maybe I shouldn't make fun of it that much. But then my second thought was when I watched the trailer, and then when they kind of say fuck it, and they start being bad moms and they're drinking, I'm like, where are their like, I would gladly go drinking if there was somewhere to put my baby, but that kind of, necessity means
No, once it's out,
can't.
it's out. I'm afraid that's
Well, you should go and watch this. They might have some hints and tips for you.
Maybe I should.
On, childcare while you're
Maybe
drinking.
it should be subtitled like Bad Moms, How to Go Drinking When You Have Babies.
Yeah.
So
Because
maybe,
they obviously
maybe
have
I'll
to solve
learn
that problem.
something.
Chase is in it.
Chase.
Yeah.
Gladiator?
I don't know. Well, he should be.
He looks like he'd be from American Gladiators.
So yeah, we're all dying to see this. Yeah.
It got better as the trailer went on. It was very boring. It
Yeah.
was very
Well,
boring for quite some time.
Actually, I made a mistake and watched the extended trailer first, and that was 6 minutes long. And that was once I got about 2.5 minutes into it, I went, "Oh, hang on a minute!" And it's actually a lot funnier than the official trailer. Let's say.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah. So there you go. Anyway, sorry. Go on.
I was just gonna say that it looked like all the plot setup was just kind of like, okay, all right, whatever. But them actually hanging out and trying to take down some moms could be funny.
Yeah.
Like I like a lot of these actresses. I think it could be funny, but the trailer wasn't getting me jazzed. It wasn't charring my tree. It wasn't putting lightning in the middle of my road. Those are references to famous movie production company logos.
Nerd.
Such a fucking.
It wasn't hopping on the eye in my Pixar,
Okay.
Yeah,
Next.
I agree. I feel like I'm the demographic this is aimed
sorry,
at,
we're
and
still
I'm not
talking.
interested. Sorry, no, we're moving on. We're moving on.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
Next one we looked at was Bloodfather. This is about. So we went from Bad Moms to Bloodfather. This is about an ex-con reunites with a strange, wayward 16-year-old daughter to try to protect her from drug dealers who are trying to kill her. This is like a Liam Neeson's movie.
That's exactly what I thought.
So this stars Mel Gibson and Elizabeth Ron and Erin Moriarty. And it's pretty much Terminator without the Terminator, but in drug dealers instead.
Mel Gibson shoots some peoples.
Yeah, and he's in the what you call it in universe nearly Mad Maxy.
It's very kind of Mad Max.
It's the one he does best.
He's
isn't
in a
it?
trailer. Yeah, he lives in a trailer.
Oh yeah, in a
Oh,
desert.
sorry, I was thinking of Lethal Weapon. He lived
Yeah.
in a trailer in that movie too.
Oh yeah,
Can't wait to see
He's
this.
good at trailers.
Yeah.
This is going to be class.
his face has gotten some character
It's
over the years.
leathery.
hasn't it?
No, but
Yeah.
I think it
It's
suits the character.
It does. Yeah.
His character
Yeah.
and the face.
He should do
suits his character.
like something like, I don't know, a Mad Max reboot or something. You know, a good one. You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it looks interesting. I think for Mel Gibson, it looks like one of his more interesting films, like in terms of action. I wouldn't really care about the other stuff, but you know,
It's
if
a
you're
bit by
into
numbers,
this-
but it looks like a
Yeah.
good by numbers
Yeah,
kind
it
of movie.
does.
Yeah.
Decent enough.
I'll spend up to $5 to watch this film.
Yeah.
I'm just really worried though. I don't know if the daughter is going to make it.
Maybe he'll die. I don't know. Somebody's gonna die.
I wish they'd just
The
do
bad
something
guys
like
are gonna die,
we've seen in
Sean.
Game of Thrones. You know, first 5 minutes gone.
Yeah.
You know, you know what I mean?
How'd you like them apples?
Like Mel Gibson gone the first 30 seconds. It's like, what? You know, that would make a really interesting start to a movie like that. You know.
A good movie, if that's what you're looking for, is Red State.
Oh yeah.
Just stick it on some night. Don't even worry about it. Just
Okay.
stick it on. It's really weird in places, and that might turn you off. But
Sounds familiar.
there's a lot of surprising shit like
Hang
that.
on, Sean.
Have we
That's
seen
that's
this?
a really, really nasty, disturbing movie.
Red State.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's funny. Also,
Okay. I'm
no.
really, I'm really
Oh,
glad
yeah.
you're far away from me now.
Oh yeah.
I mean, in terms
I
of
knew I
what you'd
recognised
expect to
that,
happen
yeah,
in the movie,
John
and
Goodman's
where
in
they
it,
lead
yeah,
you
yeah.
to what you think is going to happen.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
That's true.
Okay. Is that it for this week?
I have just one email,
Oh, fantastic.
and I picked this one because it kind of goes straight at Mike. Mike, why haven't you watched Never Back Down 3, No Surrender? Everyone knows that films with no surrender in the title are the baddest. You call yourself an A-class B movie fan? Shame. That's from John in Kinishke, County Galway in Ireland.
I stand accused.
Mike, how do you explain yourself? How do you plead? Have you seen Never Back Down 3, No Surrender?
Indeed, it's true. I have never seen Never Back Down 3 No Surrender.
It seems like it's something you should be all about fixing.
It's
I remember
it's
really enjoying Never Back Down.
I almost feel like there should be an intervention or something. You know,
But like, the third one must be 3 times better than the original.
I'll tell you what. I'll put it on the list. Yeah.
Good man, Mike. Good man.
Your own personal list. Don't make us watch it.
Oh yeah. I've got all kinds of lists.
So I'm a bit behind on emails.
You're on the good
So
list. It's okay.
If you if you sent in an email in the last couple of weeks, don't worry, I'll get to it. I read them all, and I appreciate them all. So keep them coming to podcast@isitabicycle.com.
Cool. Okay. We're definitely done then. Okay. We'll leave it there. then.
Dunzo.
So, from Mike, Mark, Steve, Shona, stay classy.